Good afternoon. Or good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Um, Excited to get back out there on the practice field today. We'll be in the bubble today. Full padded practice. Got to get better, and it comes down to fundamentals. Had the players had a bye week. Coaches don't really get bye weeks. Had a couple of days that I was able to sit there and really reflect on the season up until this point. And really, the goal remains the same, and that's to play our best football at the end of the year, and that's the goal. Do we always hit the goals? No, but we're gonna do our best to hit that goal. Flipping the page over to Arizona, very good team. I'll start defensively. To me, like if you watch that team as a whole, they definitely play fast and they fly around, regardless of position. And saying that, I think one of the big things as you watch their defense is just versatility. You just don't know where those guys are going to line up. They have, outside linebackers that can drop, outside linebackers that can rush. You have a safety in Buda Baker who really he makes the whole engine go. He'll be in the box. He'll blitz off the edge. He also can play in the middle of the field. So a very versatile player, very good player. Going to the linebackers, really Zaven. Zaven's done a good job as an on-the-ball backer. And I would also say Mac Wilson's playing pretty well for him. Just, saying I'm happy for him. He's out there doing a good job. Hopefully not on Sunday. Then moving offensively, I think it all starts with the quarterback. I mean, this is one of the more elusive quarterbacks that you're going to see in the league, as you guys know. He can beat you two ways. He can beat you with his arm and he can beat you with his legs. Does a good job really getting the ball out and does a good job extending plays, and that's what the NFL is. It turns into street ball at some point in time. And he does a good job there. I think the offensive line, I think they're very stout up front. I think they work well together. Their double teams, they definitely get a lot of movement off the ball. So we got to go out there and play with good fundamentals, good pad level, and really try to control the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the receivers do a good job. That just a mix of speed, a mix of size. So we definitely have to do a good job marrying up the rush and the coverage. Going to Connor, I mean, this guy's still going. It's been very impressive to see that a guy at this age is still running very hard. He's tough. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can run you over. He can run around you. So he's a very good player. And it's good to see that he's, after all that he's been through, that he's still playing at a high level at this point in time. And then special teams. Look, obviously, Chad's over there. He was special teams player of the month. I think the first month he was there. But they have a lot of game-changing type of players on special teams as well. With that being said, fire away.
You had some time to reflect a little bit. What do you want to see your team do? Obviously win, but in order to get there better than they've done of late.
I mean, it's all about winning. It's all about winning, and I hate to say that. I know you said besides win, but it's all about winning, and it's all about going out there playing complementary football, and that's what we want to see. And that has been the goal. Early in the season, I said the same thing. Like when we get to the end of the season, we got to make sure that we're playing our best football, and that's still the goal.
You made some personnel moves yesterday, including parting ways with KJ Osborne. Can you talk a little bit about what went into that decision?
Yeah, it was a mutual thing, and look, KJ, he has. I mean, even when he was inactive, he was just a great professional, a great person, a great leader. It just didn't work out, and we decided to part ways.
Defensively, Jerod, you guys have got most of the guys back, but you guys are still struggling on that side of the ball. What do you think the cause of that is, and what can you and DeMarcus do moving forward to try to fix that?
Yeah, I mean, look, it always starts with me as a coach, no matter what side of the ball we're talking about. I think, just as a whole, we just need to go out there and play together. We need to do a better job communicating and fly around. And again, we're paid to tackle the guy with the football, and that's going to be our number one priority this week.
With Cole Strange being activated onto the 53, how do you envision him being integrated into, let's say, a game? It's not like a receiver where one play you can pull one out. So how would that go?
That's a great question. With Cole, he has the flexibility to play center and guard, and hopefully he'll be up for the game this week. And he understands both of those positions, and I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see him out there in full pads today at practice, and excited to see him at the game, hopefully.
Would you be open to, let's say, if it's center, a couple series for Ben, or even guard, a couple series for Layden, and then rotate?
Yeah, it's tough to stay. It's tough to say. Especially early in the season, even through the midway point in the season, we've always talked about continuity up front, and so that's really, I don't want to say that's off the table, but it's a hard question to answer.
The Bulls earned a spot in the college football playoffs.
Go Bulls.
Yeah, just what was your reaction to that? And just talk a little bit.
Yeah, I was happy for those guys. they got a tough matchup. I think they play Ohio State the first game, so tough matchup. I'm rooting for them, but at the same time, I'm only focused on the Cardinals right now. So
You and Joe talk about it at all?
yeah, we talk about it. We just give each other a high five, and we just keep it moving.
Jerod, Marvin Harrison Jr., how much work did you put in on him for the draft, and what stands out about him when you watch him?
We put a lot of work in, at all the guys that we thought were going to be available at 3. And look, this is a guy who obviously he grew up in it, but great hands, great size. And he's also good when Kyler's extending the play. He has a good feel. It's like they have a good chemistry between the two of them. So good player.
Jerod, you've talked about wanting to kind of evaluate players over the course of, the final month or so. Does that evaluation for you also include your coaching staff? I mean, will you be doing that kind of evaluation as well?
No, we're all being evaluated, myself included, and that's part of it.
When it comes to Ben Brown, Nicole Strange could compete at center. What have you seen from Ben in the time that he's been there in the middle, and obviously with his contract? I think he's a restricted free agent next offseason. So
Sorry, the start of that question. Sorry.
I'm sorry, with Ben Brown, I was wondering, what have you thought of his performance since obviously the competition could be at center with Nicole Strange?
Yeah, Ben's been great. The first week he got here, he started that game. So he's just one of those guys that loves football, wants to do everything right, and is a great teammate and a great professional. So, yeah, look, we compete all the time. Every position, they have to compete each and every week.
To the practice squad yesterday. What went into the decision, and were you essentially adding competition to Joe's side?
Yeah, I think we all look. It's always it's a competitive league, and look, we got to see what he can do. Joey's done a good job for us as well throughout the season, but at the same time, we're always looking to formulate competition on the roster.
Jerod, I think the last time we chatted with you before the bye, you said obviously we're focusing on the season, but we have to look at things out the front windshield that will come up on us fast. What were some of those things you got to look at during the bye week?
Yeah, I would say just the style of play that we have. You start with the scheme, and then you go to the players, and then honestly, like what I can do better. Like those are all part of the discussion.
More experience as head coach, Tom. Have you been able to put your imprint on the defense? Because I know you talked about sort of letting the coaches coach and letting DeMarcus do his thing, but as it's gone along, have you been able to sort of?
I spend a lot of time with the defense, and I do agree. Like during the game, I'm still talking to those guys over the headset. Just because I'm not over there doesn't mean I'm not involved. And so I'm in those meetings, in the game plan meetings, and look, we just have to play better.
Coming off the bye, haven't had some time to reflect. What are some of the things that you're focused on specifically for yourself these last 4 games?
I'm focused on coaching my butt off against Arizona.
Is there anything in particular though, just in terms of whether it's during the week, in game, communication, anything in particular that you're?
To me, winning cures all. And whatever the expectations are, like winning cures all, in my opinion.
Jerod, when it comes to center, if it is Cole instead of Ben, how much does the quarterback center exchange factor into that decision, seeing how clean it's been with Ben and Drake?
Yeah, that's always a huge part of it. And look, you have to get Drake's opinion on who he feels most comfortable with at that spot. The quarterback center exchange starts every play, and it's definitely weighted in that decision.
You said last week, I think a couple times last week, that you expect to improve in year 2. What are some of the areas that you believe you have to improve on?
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into the details there. I think, again, my focus is on this week and winning this football game. So,
Can Wallace return to practice on Monday? Do you expect him to be available to play as soon as this weekend, and could he factor in?
It could be as soon as this weekend. And today, like I said, this is a big day for a lot of guys who haven't played a lot this year. Caden being one of them, to go out there in pads and see what it looks like. All right. Thanks, guys.